You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 61. I'm your host, N64 Josh. My co-host and sparring partner is Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. It is going well. We have a guest today, BltzZ. What's happening?
How's it going, guys? It's going good.
Real quick, where you make some content, do a little bit of content, maybe on YouTube, right? Where can people find that?
People can find me at youtube.com/BltzZ. BltzZ.
No I. I put the I in his name like every time I tried to spell it. So.
No, it happens, man.
No.
It's all thanks to the person on PlayStation years ago that took the original name.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, guys. Well, hey, before we get started here, if you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or Ready Player One. The gaming chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. If you go to n64josh.com/OPC, you automatically save $10 at checkout. Right now, the chairs are $20 off and free shipping. So you're looking at close to a savings of $80 right now. I highly, highly recommend these chairs. And, so n64josh.com/OPC. With that, we're going to jump into the announcements. All right, on Mondays, we'll be having our call-in show live, twitch.tv/N64Josh. I stream starting at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and stream till about 10 o'clock on Mondays. We do viewer battles. We'll do the call-in show. So come hang out. We'd love to have you guys. If you got questions, if you're new to Smash, you're just starting out, this is for you. Another announcement is we just recorded 2 episodes of Smash School, and what we're doing is we are bringing in, so Crawler and myself, and we're bringing in a resident expert from our Discord. And then if you are like a beginner, you're just learning, or maybe you've been playing for a while but you want to try to get things to that next level, we're bringing people on, bringing them into a call, jumping into a match. They're about 10-minute videos, and we just take questions and break the questions down and look at some gameplay and maybe where we can offer advice. And we did our first episode and then immediately got a message in Discord from Ken, who was our first guest, saying, I just switched my controls around and won my first match. This is amazing. So pretty hyped about that. You got to head over to youtube.com/N64Josh to check those out. All right. There's going to be, it's just Smash School is what they're going to be called. So pretty fun. I'm looking forward to doing more of those. It seems like we just had our tournament, but the second Saturday in March, we got another Smash Bros tournament coming up. I will be getting that set up very soon. You'll be able to sign up, and we'll be rocking and rolling on that. That tournament takes place at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the second Saturday in March. With that, we are going to jump into our interview with BltzZ. All right, so BltzZ, let's talk a little bit about your history with Smash. How far back does it go?
Oh, actually, it starts with Brawl.
Okay, all right.
I had a GameCube growing up. I did not, for whatever reason, I did not play Melee until after, I was into Brawl a little bit, and I went over to a friend's house, and I was like, oh, this is before Brawl, so we got into it, we played a little bit, and it's a very different game, honestly. Yeah, but that's pretty much, it starts off with Brawl, and eventually I got really into it because my cousins would just beat me over and over again. I was a Snake player because I'm a big Metal Gear fan, one of the best franchises ever. So as soon as I saw Snake was a playable character, I'm like, man, I am going to learn this guy. I'm going to do everything I can to play as this dude. So I'd look up videos all the time, like different tutorials on how to get better as Snake and who are the best players right now with Snake. And eventually, one of the recommended videos was the Smash Brothers documentary. Mm-hmm. And I started on episode 2, and I was like, yo, this thing is amazing. This is an independent documentary, and it's so professionally done. So I just spent a whole weekend with my cousins just watching the documentary and just really got into it, and just overall got a whole newfound respect for the Smash community. This was 6 years ago, a little bit over 6 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. So who was, you said Snake was your main in Brawl. What did you do in Smash 4 when he wasn't there?
Well, actually, it wasn't so bad to me, honestly, because they used to beat me so badly with Snake because I played a rushdown Snake. I played a rushdown Snake. I was playing him completely wrong, and I just started looking into more videos, and I found this player, Larry Lur. Back then, he was known as Def, and he was an amazing Falco player. I just loved the way that Falco played, the way he moved, the way he could space aerials, and the way that he approached with his laser game. I thought the whole concept was really, really cool and interesting. So I picked up Falco, and pretty sure soon, like, everybody started hating me. Like my cousins and them, they couldn't they eventually got better, but it was just a complete night and day difference between me playing as Snake versus me playing as Falco, who was like, you can play him anyway. In Brawl, at least, you can you rush down with him, you can space with aerials, you can zone with him. It's just, and you have that nasty chain grab. You have a chain grab that can kill you from 0 to 60 off the edge.
So I already am anticipating people asking me, what is rushdown, what is space, and what is zoning? Can you break those three things down real quick?
All right, so starting off with rushdown. Rushdown is you're just relentless. You're pushing your opponent to the limits. You're not giving them a break. You're not letting them recover in the neutral. Whereas the neutral is the middle. We'll say it's the middle of the stage. It's the bread and butter of fighting games. The neutral is how much space is in between you and your opponent. How is your back against the wall? Are you almost off the stage? That type of stuff. How are you playing the neutral in that sense? And in Smash, if you rush down somebody nonstop, you can just keep that pressure going and just overwhelm them literally off the stage. It's like you're literally minimizing how much space they have. And that's also why we call it spacing too, because you're spacing your moves. There's a hitbox that has to come out at a certain frame that they have to avoid. And for sword characters in general, I think sword characters have a good mix of the two, because their sword hitbox it's a hitbox, but it has no hurt box, meaning that it's intangible. It can't get damaged. So if a Marth player or an Ike player, whoever, is throwing out forward airs over and over again, just basically creating this wall that you can't get past, that is honestly their game plan of what they should be doing to basically use that to their advantage, because they can't get hit out of an attack essentially doing that.
Okay.
And what was it? What was the one after that when you said?
Oh, just rush down.
You talked about spacing, and then
zoning. Zoning was the last one. Yeah. So it's zoning. Essentially, it's using your character's projectiles to create a zone, and it's kind of lame to play this way sometimes. A lot of players don't like when people play this way. But zoning is when you're just basically projectile spamming. That's just, for lack of another better term, that's just what you might have heard it called as before, projectile spamming. I mean, talking about Hadoukens, Kamehameha blasts, and Ki blasts in general, and lasers, and of course peach turnips.
Yeah,
links.
And Link's, oh my god, yeah, Link is probably the ultimate zoner in Smash history. This dude has everything. He's got arrows, he's got bombs. He had his boomerang used to have a wind box, I believe it was, in Smash 4.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
Those are the three in every fighting game. Those are the three that pretty much sticks with every game, to be honest. You got rushdown, you got neutral, spacing, and 4 zoning.
Right. Cool. Thank you. I know that question was going to come up, so I just wanted to make sure we covered it right now.
Not a problem.
Let's talk about your YouTube channel a little bit. How'd that get started? What give us the history.
Watched, in high school, pretty much, I watched a lot of YouTube. That was just my main source for content. I didn't really watch TV other than watching sports. It was just mainly YouTube, football, and pretty much that right there. But with YouTube, I grew up watching a lot of YouTubers and a lot of tutorials just of people showing you how to get better, how to play as a character. And sometimes I'd watch these things and I'm like, man, this sucks. They're not getting to the point. Some people are stretching videos a little too long, and that's just been my main thing. I don't care for 10-minute videos to be able to stretch it out to get as much ad revenue as possible. I believe in actually making content to help the community in that sense, and just do whatever I can to explain something without droning on for too long in that sense. And that's just where it all started. I just really wanted to make videos teaching people how to get better at the game, playing with other people as well, just showing them what their their flaws are, where they can improve in, and all that stuff. And also breaking down little texts in here and there, just like really basic to intermediate things, and eventually go into like the advanced after a couple months. I started with I actually started doing that with Dragon Ball Fighters, because my girlfriend convinced me. She's like, "You love this game so much, why don't you just make videos about it?" And I'm like, she's right.
So you just kind of specialize in kind of short, concise videos to help break down character gameplay?
Yep. Most definitely. Just I love fighting games in general. Like I play shooters a lot too myself, but when it comes to fighting games, it's just something that's just you versus another opponent. When they make a mistake, how you can capitalize it, just punishing their attacks. It's just something just about fighting games I really, really love. And just growing up, I always loved it too.
I mean, you're here right now because I stumbled across one of your videos and then just left a comment like, "Hey, you want to do this?" Like I'm probably gonna get deleted for spam.
Oh no, no, most definitely not, man. I really appreciate that. When it comes down to like getting YouTube comments and stuff, like some of my videos they do really well, and some of them just go like, some people don't even see them. But the ones that get a lot of comments, I make sure to respond to every single comment, no matter what. If it's negative, I try to reach the middle ground with them and help them understand where they're coming from, and then help them understand where I was coming from in that sense. Like I really don't believe in arguing with people online. It just makes no sense to me. But I just love the interaction with the community, and I a lot of people don't allow this. A lot of subreddits don't allow this, but I do post my videos sometimes to subreddits, but I only post ones that are like informational videos that'll help the community in that sense. And I always message the moderators beforehand and just like, "Hey, I have a video I want to upload. It's from my channel, but it's something that I really think the community would really, really enjoy and need to hear." And sure enough, I mean, the short hop video that I made 2 of them. Both of them are doing extremely well.
I think that's the video I found, actually. I think it was
I think so.
Because I was looking for short hop advice, just because, and it all boiled down to I just needed to spend time in the lab ultimately, right? That's what it really boiled down to. But I was trying different techniques. Like I'm wondering if I rest my finger on the Z button and then only like use it as like a almost as like a stop, so I can only press the trigger in as far as that. Nope, still didn't work. Like it's
really difficult in this game because universally across the board, all the characters got their jump squat frames changed to 3 frames, which makes the window for short hopping a lot smaller than it was in previous games. Except Melee. I think Melee was 3 frames for a lot of characters too. But if we're coming from like Smash 4 and Brawl, we're really used to one thing, and then you switch up something universally across the board. It's going to throw everybody off, of course. And that's why I felt like, this video was a really good one to make, because and what kind of sucks is that I did a video about like the short hop mechanic that they originally put in the game, which is when you hold jump and you an attack button at the same time, you short hop and do an aerial. A couple weeks later, when 2.0 came out, early in the morning, I was reading the patch notes, and I'm like, oh my god, they did it. They made it so that if you press both jump buttons at the same time, you will always get a short hop without an aerial attack, which is amazing. That's like something that the whole community was like asking for in that video that I made. So I was like, I got to make a video about this now. So I went and I did that. I put that video up. It does really well, but I still get comments on the other video, people telling me like, "Are you stupid? They created a new way that you can do this." And I'm like, "Hey, watch the new video. I linked it."
And people also don't look at dates either. Like that's the biggest thing you look at when you're looking at relative content. You have to like think about stuff and look at the date. If you're looking at something and it's dated 2 years ago or even 2 months ago, it's not going to be as up to date as especially something that came out 2 weeks ago with the update.
Yeah, and especially with that, because I mean, I make sure that if I make a video like that that's going to correct on something or add on to another video, I'll pin it in the previous video's comment. I'll put it in the description. I'll even add an info card that people don't click on for some reason. Just telling them like, "Hey, this is the new one. Click on it." Just don't. I mean, you could still use that video. It's not outdated or anything, but I just feel like the newer one is just an overall way better route to go. And also to touch on your thing about people not looking at dates, I still get comments on videos that I made like 2 years ago where I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I was showing people how to get really good XP, like really quick XP and level up fast when the game first came out. It was like a month or 2 after it came out, And I get comments all the time. People tell me this is so outdated. This game isn't gonna last long. This game, like, people aren't gonna play this game very long. I feel like Dual Destinies is gonna be better. And I'm like, dude, this video's 2 years ago. I don't even have the game on my phone anymore. I don't even play it.
So it's doing something to get back in the algorithm, I guess.
He was right. It wasn't gonna last long.
I literally got a comment yesterday on a video that's 5 years old and still helping people with an issue on their Xbox One, not able to connect to their internet. And it was like, oh, like, this is going to help me. I'm like, there's 1,000 comments on this video. Go ahead and read some of them. Most of them are like, this helped. I can't believe it.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's
sometimes I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because with you having like a successful video, a lot of people post them on different like forums and subreddits, and they just get the video box. They don't really get the entire like clickable link, and sometimes they just watch it from that, and then they click on the link, and then they already have this mean comment planted in their head that they want to get through immediately.
Right, because they're super helpful. Yeah. So let's talk just some Smash tips and stuff. We're gonna move into just kind of another section here, talking tips. All right. So with this new game, and as a content creator, is there certain questions that you get asked more often than not?
Specifically, how to deal with King K rule players. A lot of people really don't like King K rule, and I don't think he's necessarily a bad character, like necessarily like an amazing character. I mean, that's somebody that can just bully their way through. I just feel like if you take the time and learn the matchup, basically you will understand how to defeat these people. Like I told my Dragon Ball subscribers all the time, like, people hate Android 16 in that game nonstop, and I was one of them too. I was like, man, this guy's so hard to play as, and the best way to get better against the character is to play as that character, learn to play as that character, understand what they can do in the neutral, as we talked about earlier, and play against your friends, play online a little bit, and don't worry about losing so much. That's one of the worst things you can do, is if you, on every single loss that you get, it ruins your mood, you get really mad, and you get salty, so to speak. That's just one of the worst ways to develop yourself as a player, and just overall just getting better. You just play to win, of course, but play where if you lose, you're not going to get upset at the world and throw your controller. Take every single loss as a learning experience, because that's just the way that I live my life, is like I learn from more of my failures than my successes, and that's how you just become better, and not just overall in video games, but as a person in general. Can't be afraid to fail.
The way I look at it is you celebrate the success and you learn from the loss, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, you're going to celebrate the success because it's what you've learned from past losses that have allowed you to have that success, right? So celebrate that thing, but then don't get mad when you lose. Just take
it as a learning experience and move on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Adapt and make changes.
Which gets so we'll hit our user question here. It says how, like, we'll just talk about this, and we'll continue on with some more tips and stuff. But how do you desalt? Especially after losing to someone just teabagging. It makes me feel horrible losing to those people. Blitz, what do you do in that situation?
Well, for me, a lot of people like to teabag whenever they play as DDD, because he does the laydown animation.
Patrick Murphy, I know you're listening.
So it's all in good fun. I mean, obviously they took out the ability to taunt in this game, and that was a big thing in previous Smash games. It's just, showboating, as Captain Falcon player is always taunting and nonstop. It's just, at the same time, like what I was saying before, don't let these things get to you. You're going to lose matches. People are going to be acting a certain way online, especially. And one of the best ways I can honestly say to desalt yourself, besides like, the generic, just breathe, put the controller down and walk away, rewatch your replays, right? Every single match that you play, even if you win, even if you lose, there's always somewhere that you can improve on in any game, anything in life, honestly. Just always rewatch your replays. Just look at it, study what you did wrong, what you could have did better, and why you lost. And sometimes, honestly, you're just missing the bigger picture, because the way I notice it is like when I watch like one of my cousins or somebody comes over and we're playing like a shooting game or something, and it's obviously a one-person game. We're watching them play, and we're like, oh my God, there's a guy right there on your left. There's a guy right there on your left, but he doesn't see him because, you know, when you're in the game, you're focusing on other areas and you're not necessarily looking you're not looking at the bigger picture because you're in the zone in that sense. And it works the same way with fighting games. You record your matches, you watch your replays, you're going to find stuff that you were lacking in certain areas and just get better.
Crawler, how do you deal with it?
I try to win really hard. But
that is the quote of the day. I try to win really hard.
But I mean, and that, I think that's the ultimate way to hit back at somebody that's taunting you a little bit like that, is like let your gameplay speak for it. So you kind of have to compartmentalize kind of your tilt a little bit, and that's something that you definitely have to work on and evolve to be able to do. But I'm not above doing it back, but I definitely don't initiate it usually. But if I can get one or two stocks off fairly quickly, I'm not opposed to doing it back. But it is kind of the ultimate thing to just let your gameplay speak for you.
Yeah.
And, but I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier on stream, just like if it becomes something that is truly kind of just overtaking what your gameplay is able to do, just disengage and don't challenge that person to a rematch. Try to find a new healthier matchup that you can have just a clean kind of game with somebody and work your way through that.
Most definitely. When
this question came up during we were recording Smash School when it came up, and we addressed it after the fact, and I was like, you have to remove your ego from it was from Metro 72 there. I'm like, and I made sure to like I don't know, I don't know Metro, I don't know, but he came back and was like, oh, my ego is such a big problem with all of this, like, and it was the same kind of thing, like you gotta I feel like it's an aspect of the game that your opponent can really use against you if you let it get to you. And if it doesn't get to you, then you're able just to, stay in the mindset you need to be in to, focus on your opponent, look for those areas to punish, and hopefully win. And if you lose, I mean, just realize that if you lost because you got tilted, there's a learning experience. Okay, what do I need to do to make sure I don't get super salty, and it because you'll start making mistakes, right? So
yeah,
you got to do what you have to do in your mind to just keep the mindset you need for the match so that you can win. And then here's me stuck on a platform trying to get down, teabagging, not even on purpose, because I just want to get through the we've all been there, right? I mean,
Yep. Oh, and one thing I wanted to add to everybody, I mean, obviously you guys are watching Smash. If you know the player Nairo, if you guys go back a few years ago, when Nairo was really young, there's a video where he's playing Def at Apex. I think it was Apex 2013. Larry was playing Falco and Nairo was playing Meta Knight. And the whole matchup, Larry won, I think, the first game, and then Nairo won the second game. And it was just going, like, the ball was rolling for Nairo, and he was just dominating. Because Meta Knight was, really good in that game. And Larry came back, and he beat him as Falco versus, like, Meta Knight. And Nairo gets up, and he throws his controller at the TV. And he's really frustrated. He just walks away, and he just gets really angry. And look at him now. He's, like, one of the top Smash players. He's always in the invitationals. He's always a household name, and like everybody does get salty from time to time. It's just what you do after that and how you come back from that just makes you into a better player overall. So always take learning experiences from all those situations. I always remember that video because I was like, damn, that guy got really salty. And then I look at him now and I'm like, oh yeah, it was Nairo like years ago.
Yeah, right. So we talked about King K. Rool a little bit. Right, that's one of the questions you get. Are there any other questions you get, especially from like the one of the things we're trying to do is kind of have a little more of a we want to focus on everybody, but we kind of, like, when Ultimate came out, we focused more on the level that we were at, as far as like more of like a like not at the beginning stages any longer. And so I want to kind of rewind a little bit and help beginners out. So what's some advice that you could give to beginners that are just starting out with the game? And I mean, you can go as like, I mean, some of the questions we had today were even just setting up controllers, things like that, so you literally can take it anywhere.
With I never believe in tier lists. So one of the first things you shouldn't do is do not go to a tier list and see what is the best character, like, oh, is the character that I want to play high up or not. If you like a character and you want to play as that character and do everything you can to understand how that character moves, what moves they have, and how they can use those moves. Like, for example, like as far as movement goes, if you can get that muscle memory down of how your character can move, turn around, jump, and like what areas they excel in. Like, for example, Falco, for me, he's the highest jumper in the game. So my goal is to toss people up and jump as high as I can to the top of the screen and up air them just for an easy kill, just like that. But you want to analyze and look at your character's strengths and their weaknesses as well. And you want to make sure that you can use that to eventually adapt and form your own play style. Because one of the beautiful things about Smash, nobody plays the same. You can look at somebody play as a same character as you, and they have a totally different style, and it's like a beautiful work of art. And that's one of the main things that drew me to Smash in the first place. But always, and like also, of course, look up tutorials and stuff, and just practice with your friends, and don't be afraid to experiment. If like if you're lacking in an area of like surviving off stage and like going off stage and fighting people, practice that nonstop with your friends. Like, don't be afraid to do that type of stuff in friendly fights. Like, play with the mindset, of course, to win, but understand that you are trying to get better, and you just want to experiment every single match and just try to do something new, like a new tech that you saw in a video that you learned. Okay, in this game, I want to focus on doing that a little bit more. Or if you know how your opponent plays, or if like you know that your character has a certain strength as far as like platform gameplay goes, like with your up tilts and stuff, just make sure that you try to focus on that. Just every single match, every single game, just try to focus on something that you looked at, that you learned, that you've practiced, that you want to see, to just try to get yourself better. And movement is key, just as far as like dashing, jumping, short hopping, and all that stuff. That is just ultimately what you want to get good at before you can learn combos. There's a lot of people, they look at the game and they're like, okay, what are the best combos? What can I do? You can be the best player in the world if you have...
Guilty.
You can be the best player in the world and like have the best combos, but if you lack character fundamentals at all, like as far as movement, spacing, and neutral and all that stuff goes, you're not going to get that far. Like, I've seen players get, really good players, like good combo players, like get beat by somebody that throws out one move, dashes back, dashes forward, hits them again, and then like, spot dodges and catches them in the up smash. That kind of stuff like really goes a long way. Just learn the basic fundamentals of the game, and then once you get comfortable with that character, focus on things like combos and setups and off-stage gameplay and all that stuff.
Crawler, you got anything to add to that?
That kind of goes back to what we were talking about in Smash School as well, is just not paying attention to the tier list. Finding a character that you feel comfortable with, and then understanding the fundamentals that can then open up opportunities for you to experiment with other characters as well. But having that good, strong Smash fundamentals with the neutral game and just basic attacks is going to pay off.
Well, I want to go back to what BltzZ said early on when we first started the show. He said he played a snake, but you were Russian, right? Like, and so there's going to be a way to play certain characters. Now, maybe you can incorporate some of those things, right, with that character. You can, if whether you're zoning or whatever it is, but a character is going to be designed a certain way, and so you want to make sure that you're playing that way, because you're going to be playing to that character's strengths.
Exactly.
And so that's something to keep in mind, that if you're trying to play, if you're a super aggressive player, but you're playing with a character that's really good at spacing or zoning, that kind of stuff, like, you may want to switch things up a little bit, find more of a brawler or something that, you can just get in and constantly rush and keep your opponent on the ropes.
Yeah. For me, I've always loved playing as characters that people consider either mid-tier or bottom to lower tier, because they're honest characters. If you can do really well with them and beat people with them and use them to their full strengths, that just says much more about you as a player, being able to do the fundamentals and how you use that character in that sense. I saw a comment on a video a few days ago. They were like, if you lose to a Falco player in Ultimate, you didn't lose to Falco because he's not broken. He doesn't have any like gimmicks that are like broken or like game breaking or anything like that. You lost to the player because the player is just using him to his full potential and just overall doing his thing.
Love it. Love it. Blitz, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at BltzZ. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/BltzZ7. Actually, I had to add a 7 on there because there's another account on there that's BltzZ7. And of course, youtube.com/BltzZ.
All right, Crawler, where can we find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in Josh's Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. As Blitz said, he was talking about joining, got like 15 welcome messages, so you guys are doing a good job welcoming new people in. You guys can also find me on Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E, and then as well on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nightcrawler724.
All right, guys, you can follow me everywhere at N64Josh, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitch, YouTube, Farmers Only, all the places. You guys know it's at N64Josh. The show you can follow at Smash Bros Cast on Twitter. If you would like to get yourself a free book from Audible, audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, n64josh.com/OPC. Automatically save $10 at checkout. The music you're hearing right now is the Metal Melee theme. You can watch the full video on YouTube by going to n64josh.com/Metal Melee. Guys, we have all kinds of resources in the show notes. Different videos that we highly recommend. I have that page on n64josh.com. We're going to get some of BltzZ's videos on there so you guys can easily check them out. We'll have all his links on here so you can follow him. Thank you guys so much for listening week in and week out. Remember to share this. We really, really appreciate it. That's like the most important thing you guys can do for us is just share this so we can get more people involved with the community. And we really are trying to reach every level of player, right? Because if you're a real advanced player, we'd love for you to be able to come and help out players that are needing the help, And if you're a beginner, jump on in. There's no stupid question. We want you to be able to improve at Smash. That's the point of this. So we're all just growing together. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Blitz, Crawler. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.
See you guys.